Hi everyone and welcome to Love Works. I am Stella. We are going to do an all signs tarot reading for you today. We are going to look at what is next, just everyday happenings in your life. All right. So we're going to do Aries all the way through Pisces. You are welcome to look at the timestamps below. Also, my link for personal readings is in the description box that is under the More tab. All right, let's get started. See what's going on. For Aries, please. What is the message for Aries? What's next? What's going on? We're just going to get a general message as for regular energy right now, and then the what's next will come with the tarot. Okay. All right, so we have compromise. Okay, and you do have the situation will improve at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so compromise with the scales, emphasis on the scales and that archetype of balance and whatnot. Okay, so let's see what's going on with Aries. What is next? For Aries, please. What's been going on? What is going on? What is next? Aries. Okay. Oh. All right. Okay. I do see some sort of breakthrough here. Okay, what I'm getting for you, Aries, is there is a breakthrough for you, but it may not be in the way that you think it is. Okay, so I don't know if this is about work, career, a family situation, possibly something like that, love, romantic love. I feel like there's a tower moment coming for you that's going to sort of break something open, but it may not be exactly what you're thinking that might be. All right, that's what I get with this. I mean, recent past, you have 5 of Wands, 3 of Swords, so there's definitely some sort of disappointment energy going on here, possibly an argument or just a tug of war of sorts. Maybe 2 strong wills, or something like that. Little dramas, maybe even with the 5 of Wands. But there's disappointment with that energy, which there always is. There's always going to be disappointment in that energy. If there's a tug of war, then it's just that very act, even the metaphor of it is competition in a way, or trying to pull someone else into the mud. Why would we don't want to do that, right? So it's kind of an odd, I've always wondered about tug of war, as an actual sport, how, I don't want to say barbaric necessarily, because it's not it's brutal or, any of those things, but it's really, that's the idea is to pull someone else into the mud. We are a strange race of human beings, let me just tell you that. Anyway, so I feel like there's been some disappointment here in the recent past. There's heading towards some sort of other energy, though. This could be, Empress card can represent our mother. Maybe there's, maybe it's time to go see mom, and for those of you, who can do that, or someone who is mom-like, something along those lines. All right. If it has nothing to do with family or anything like that, I feel like you guys are just leaving behind that type of tug of war drama and moving into more self-care, self-nurturance, that sort of energy. That works for you, it looks like. All right, that makes sense. And we do have this compromise card here, and that would come into play in the very near future, because I do feel like there's something that's coming towards you fairly quickly, unexpected perhaps with that tower. Also, it could be an offer to work things out with this person. That could absolutely be that with the 3 of Pentacles. If it's work related, it could indicate something coming your way quickly, where you're going to be working with others in a smaller setting. All right, maybe chosen to work on a project with a couple other people, something along those lines. If it's romantic love, most likely it's working things out, talking things through, that sort of deal. You have Taurus energy here all over your reading, by the way, so some of you may be dealing with a Taurus, or just that sort of energy where there's that stubbornness, but there's the scales that need to come in to balance a situation, right? So we do have the Hierophant as your what's next card. Okay, so the Hierophant is kind of awesome. You know, it's like kind of sending out a blessing in a way, right? It's definitely got ties to spirituality. So I would say this would be a great time to move away from any type of disappointments, dramas, things that feel like a tug of war to you, and leave that emotionally in the past and move towards like self-nurturance, self-care, that sort of thing, or someone who helps provide that uplifting energy of that, all right? Like good advice, something along those lines. And I do feel like things are turning like rapidly for you in rapido, in a positive way here, and like turning the wheel in a sense with that Tower card coming in. So I do feel like the Tower card is changing something that's been like pretty miserable here. All right. Again, Taurus energy showing up, a little Sagittarius also, and then turning something into what you really are like hoping for or needing at this time. So like I said, it may not be what you expect it to be, but it is like universe is saying, hey, we're giving you this Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups energy here to, we're presenting this to you. It's a little mysterious, but it's something that's going to actually be very good for you. All right, so that's what I see there. Let's go to Taurus. Okay. All right, Taurus, let's see what's up for you. Taurus, what is next? We're going to take a look at just a general angel answer card for you. Then we'll get to the tarot spread for the what's next part. Okay, what do we got? Let go. Okay, and it says you are ready. All right, so letting go of something, angels are saying you're ready. You're ready to let go. Surrender into some sort of positive energy with that you're ready card underneath the deck, right? You're ready. You're ready, Taurus. Okay. Oh, yeah, definitely. You're ready to let go of something and move towards something that makes sense for you. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Yeah, manifesting like a more positive, long-lasting relationship, or yeah, like really looking forward to your future or work or career, something like that. So this looks really nice. Okay, so tell me about Taurus. What's going on? Oh my gosh, Taurus. This is really, really good. All right. Hermit, the Star. Taurus, these cards are really saying, like, let go of something here. All right. Okay, so let's, okay, see what's going on. Well, actually, let's take these cards because they don't fit in the spread too much here. So let's see. Okay. Some of you, first of all, you may be moving toward a Capricorn in particular in matters of romantic love. If it's not romantic love for you, these cards just fell out, so we'll look at them real quick. There's just a message here of, I don't know, I feel like for some of you, I feel like it's risk-taking time, like to do something a little bold, a little. Now, keep in mind, it's a general reading on YouTube, so, and that doesn't mean, you know, oh my God, go quit your job and, or, you know, or, you know, whatever, you know, go, whatever risk, you know, crazy risk might be there. Maybe it means that, but I feel like it's saying more to like separate yourself from necessarily like over practicality, like trying to be too practical, trying to be too grounded. Now, again, I urge you, these readings are just like temporary energy. This doesn't mean like forever or for the rest of your life you should be this way or anything like that. That's not what it's suggesting. It's just suggesting like right now, like not to focus so much like on, well, that doesn't make sense, or that's not practical, or that's not grounded, or, you know, something along those lines. And like kind of move into a little bit more of like that like desire energy. It's a fine line though. We don't want to get obsessed like devil card energy, you know, where we're just like lustful and like overly desirous of something. It's a nice balance, right? So, but there is something here about having a lot of confidence and moving forward, like with something that you do truly desire, and not worrying so much like, oh, that's not practical, that's not this, that's not that. Okay, so for some of you, that's what the message is, and that makes a lot of sense with that let go and then you're ready, okay, message. But let's see what other messages we get here for you with your actual tarot spread, Taurus. Okay, so that may have been like that main message for those oracle cards, and we might get something different here, but let's see. All right, what do we have for Taurus? Okay, very similar to Aries read. Doesn't surprise me. Okay, but enough difference that it's different. Okay, yeah, wow. Yeah, there's that opportunity energy here again at the bottom of the deck. Something coming in. What's next is there's something coming in that you don't quite see yet that is an opportunity for you. I feel like that's the thing. Like when you're, what's that thing? When you're busy planning life, or you know that quote, and then life happens or something, whatever that exact quote is, that is what I see in your reading. All right, yeah, like it's something like whenever you're busy planning life, that's when life happens, or something along those lines. All right, that's the total vibe of your reading. So recent past, yeah, I don't know. I feel like you guys just feel like you constantly are putting out fires, or like you're constantly like running into the fire, you know, the metaphoric fires with something. Some of you may have like Libra strong in your chart, or feel like it's like your job lately to kind of keep the peace with something. I feel like that's a very disappointing way to go about things, and it hasn't really like worked well. I do, though, however, feel like there is a solution to this. All right, there's a solution to every problem. I'm just full of, you know, all kinds of everyday quotes that are out there. When life happens, okay. All right, but you know, I do see that. It's like there's something here where there's this disappointment, this is something that you can't seem to resolve. All right, and it's like no matter how confidently you take this on, it feels like it's not able, you know, to, like, you may not be able to resolve this situation. It may be for someone else that's on, you know, like someone else's situation, and you really want to help, but it just feels like there's just disappointment in that. If it's a romantic relationship or something along those lines, I feel like if you guys are like experiencing a lot of like dramas or arguments, or just kind of back and forth a lot, there, you know, it might be a good idea to possibly go see someone, maybe do a little relationship counseling, something along those lines. All right, where it's, I don't know if that's necessarily going to solve everything for you, but it's definitely leading you to the right answers. All right, whether that be to stay together with this person or to leave them, I'm not sure, but I'm just saying it's definitely leading you to the right answers. So absolutely, like, let go of this, like trying to solve something for this situation, okay, is what I'm seeing. Instead, start looking toward your future and making a plan as to what that looks like. All right, so even if this is something that you can't just immediately walk away from, or just immediately take yourself out of the equation with, or something like that, still, it's like separate emotionally, start thinking about the plan of like what could the future look like. You know, if that golden cup represented my future coming out of the sky, like from the hand of God, what's in that cup? What does it look like? What's in there? Right? Is it a new job? Is it, you know, a new, you know, situation? Or is it a new path in life, a new attitude? You know, I've got a new attitude. You know, what's in that cup? Like, start planning that or like thinking about what might be in there, you know, kind of thing. I do think that there's a desire in there that is wanting to come out, and I feel like there's going to be an opportunity to represent said desire very soon. So I feel like for you guys, you're just sort of at the precipice of letting go, of realizing there's something here you can't possibly solve, you know, for some reason. And it is disappointing, but it's like planning for like something new in your future and letting go of that situation. You're ready to do that. You have no need to worry at the bottom of this card also. Okay, you're ready, no need to worry. Okay. All right, so let's go to, that was Taurus. We're on to Gemini. Okay, all right, Geminis, let's see what's going on for you. Gemini, what is next? Abundance is what's next. Wow, all right. And look, that yes was bouncing around in the deck too. So absolutely, abundance, awesome. Listen to your intuition is at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so Gemini, wow, well that sounds good. And that makes a lot of sense, you know, because it's, you know, a good season for you. So let's see, what's going on, Geminis? what has been going on, what is going on, what is next. Geminis. All right. Abundance. Geminis. Whoa, all right. Yeah. A lot of inner strength, a lot of self-nurturing. Looks like that leads to something that's going to be very abundant. All right, that's what I'm seeing. Okay, tell me about Geminis, please. What is next? Okay. Wow, you got, yeah, quite a few major arcana showing up here. Wow, yeah. Oh my gosh, awesome. Wow. All right, this is wonderful. All right, so this is one of those things I feel like is playing out over a little bit of time, though. So it's like, it is what is next, but it might not be like next week or something along those lines. Some of you may be ending a marriage or have ended a marriage in the recent past. All right, the death card with the Hierophant, or ended something that, or moved on from something that was possibly like too strict or too oppressive, or felt like it was just not what you're after right now. I feel like you guys have a lot of confidence moving forward, and it's because of that. All right, whatever that is. Maybe it's, like I said, changing up careers. Maybe it's leaving a Taurus or a Scorpio, could be. Although it's the Scorpio card, like the moving forward, so I doubt if it's that, but it could be. And you're following your intuition, right? I mean, listen, this card, listen to your intuition. So it's like the High Priestess is kind of sending you this intuition for you to kind of end something or let go of something along those lines, to vocalize it. Because there's a clear ending here. It's your card, Ten of Swords, right? Going into the Ten of Cups. So that is a clear, like, done. Exhausted thinking about, it's like exhausted of like carrying around this mental, like, heaviness, and being just done with it, and like, nope, no more, right? And then moving into this Ten of Cups energy, which is welcoming. It's more like emotional happiness rather than mental heavy burdens, okay? And that is what's giving you this confidence moving forward. So I do feel like there is abundance in your future. There is something here that I feel like you guys are listening to your intuition, letting go of. Moving forward, some of you could be stepping into a leadership role of some sort. Maybe this is about work and career, like I said, with that, Hierophant here. Maybe it's about, really asking for that separation, that divorce, if that's what you feel, you are already moving toward. Never let tarot cards influence you towards, things like that. But, if your heart and your intuition are telling you those things, it's like, yeah, I want to, screw this, I'm ready to be happy, or I'm ready to express my confidence, or something like that. Because I just feel like you've been like kind of held down, oppressed for way too long. That's what I'm sensing here. And now it's sort of like you're listening to your intuition. You are verbalizing yourself. You are articulating your needs moving forward, and you're doing that with confidence. That's what I see is the difference here, and that turns things around for you, like, in a big way. So that's what I see for Gemini. Yay. Great reading. That's like the kind of reading I love to see for Geminis. Okay. Because Geminis, you need to believe in yourself more. I always find, I love Geminis. I have a lot of friends who are Geminis, and family members and that sort of thing. And it's like, God, so creative. Like, their minds are just so creative and interesting. And, but it's like that confidence factor, I always feel, is like that main ingredient that could really, kind of boost them forward. Okay, so let's see. Let's move to Cancers now, as far as what is next. Cancers. What do we got going on for Cancers, please? Okay, that one wants to come out. Unlikely is showing up. Okay, unlikely. All right, but it does say remain positive at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so that's a tricky situation. Let's see what's going on there. Unlikely, but remain positive. Okay, so it could just mean there's something in this time frame, because I do these readings weekly, right? So that it might not be happening like this second, right? But remain positive. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Tell me about Cancers, please. What is next? Hello, sunshine. All right. Some of you dreaming about a vacation. All right, what's going on, Cancers, please? What is it next? Hello. See, it's when you don't expect it. So if you're excited about love, you're excited about when am I going to meet that person? When am I, this, that, and the other. It's like things like that always happen when we're not expecting it, right? When we just feel it, we know it's coming, that kind of thing, and we're okay with that. We don't push it, we don't try to keep finding out, like when, stuff like that. I have a feeling universe hates that kind of thing. All right, so let's see what's going on, Cancers. Two of Cups came out again. Look, Hermit shining the light on the Two of Cups. All right. Okay. Well, something's showing up for you. Tower card again. And Ace of Wands. Okay. Cancers. Wow. What is next? Interesting. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. So you got a few different things going on here. Okay. I feel like there is something new ahead for you. So if it's something about like, wow. So you have remain positive within the next few weeks and a yes here underneath that card. Yeah, this is something that is coming in somewhat quickly for you guys. Okay. Hold on. Let me clarify something here. Yeah, those won't work maybe. Okay. Unlikely. Remain positive. Okay. Okay. I think I get it. Choice. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay, that's funny. I came to the conclusion already, and then that just solidified it. Choice. Okay, what I'm seeing here is I feel like there's something... Okay, those of you who are... like I said, excited about love or excited about meeting someone or exciting, like just feeling like maybe it's your time, maybe it's coming, I'm going to meet somebody, or I've met somebody, this is looking good, or that person from the past has called me, maybe things are going to be working out, that kind of thing. I feel like that is now remember, this isn't for everyone, it's a general tarot reading, but I feel like that's the unlikely card. All right. I feel like there's something completely new for you, and I think it's somewhat soon. I mean, we got the Tower card, so Tower card means unexpected. But Ace of Wands is quick moving energy, and that was your outcome card. This was the next card off the top of the deck, but this was your outcome card. And the Ace of Wands is quick moving energy. It's like, within 30 days. It's not longer than that usually, right? So there's a couple things here. All right. There's a choice to, like, if you feel like, well, maybe that thing with that person that I've been with forever or something will work out or something like that. I feel like it's unlikely. All right. And it's really hard to read though, because it's like for some of you, I feel like there's someone from your past or someone that you've thought about a lot or wish it would be that person or something like that. And I feel like, no, like that's like not the person. Okay. But yet it may be somebody else that you've already known before that's coming forward, but it's newer energy to you. So in other words, it could be someone who maybe you didn't really like date, or someone that you knew back in high school or something like that, but didn't, you guys didn't date. So it's like a new thing, right? Even though it's a person that you already know. It's a complicated reading as far as in a general sense, like for all of you. I can't possibly give you like every single scenario, but here's the gist of what I'm seeing. Okay, first of all, it's good. All right, so we got that. Second of all, there's something here about something unexpected that is going to really be like a chemistry here, a very sort of motivating and exciting potential for you. For most of you, I feel like it's romantic in nature with the Two of Cups here, but it could very well be work, career, something like that as well, okay? But there's definitely going to be a choice ahead for you, and I feel like the overall energy, like, I feel like you can't go wrong with this choice. So, like, as long as you are like feeling it, okay, like I feel like you can't go wrong. Like you're just gonna know. You're going to know exactly like, oh, this is it. This is what I want to do, or this is who I want to be with, or something along those lines. I feel it is going to come unexpected, or from an unexpected, like you would have never thought, oh my God, how weird, it came from that person, or something like that. So like if it's work or something, in other words, like, you know, maybe your child or something gives you this like great idea, like, well, why are you still at that job, mom or dad or whatever, you know, you should do this, you know, or, and it's like, oh my God, you know, something like that, right? So it could be very unexpected. If it's romantic love, same thing. It's like hearing from someone like that you had no idea, you know, that they even knew how to get a hold of you, or, you know, it's completely unexpected, something along those lines. But I do feel though, like if there's someone though that you like always think about, like they're always on your mind, and it's more of like a pining, you know, kind of like, I don't feel like it's that person. All right. I feel like this would be, like I said, like new to you. All right. Even if you've known them before. So whatever it is, it looks very good. I do feel, I mean, it's going to, again, general reading, this could be a lot of things. Ace of Wands, Nine of Cups, all right? Because it has something to do more with your personal wishes, your personal ambitions, you know, your personal chemistries, and like what you are attracted to. So I can't possibly, like I said, give exactly what this is for everyone, but it does have a very, very positive movement forward. And I mean, you do have this remain positive at the bottom of the deck, and within the next few weeks, and then you have a yes here as well. Okay. All right. So that is Cancers. We are on to Leo. Okay, Leo, let's see what the message is for Leos, please. What is next, Leos? So we're just going to look at a general angel answers card first, and then we'll get to the tarot for more of the like what's next part of the reading. Okay, so messages for Leo. Success. All right. Okay, so you have success, Leos. All right, that's a beautiful card. And it is an angel answer card. So there's your answer. Success. All right. Let's see. What is going on for Leo as far as what has been going on, what is going on, and what is next within a, you know, relatively soon amount of time for our Leo friends out there? What do we have for Leos? Okay. Aw. All right. Oh. Okay. I feel like you have an offer to go somewhere or something like that, that you're like, you're not sure. But I do feel like could be successful. I think Aries, I don't know, was it Aries? Might have been Taurus. I'm not sure. One of the earlier readings that I've already done had like Four of Cups as their outcome card too. So in the recent past with this Eight of Swords and Nine of Cups, there's something here, Leo, where it's like almost like afraid to have that wish, afraid to have that, like, ooh, what would that look like? Or I don't know. Like most Leos I know are pretty big thinkers. You know, they're you know, pretty bold, and not, you know, fear isn't usually, you know, like fear of success or something like that isn't usually like a very like Leo thing, I don't think, as far as I know. But it almost feels like that. It's sort of like afraid to think too big. Okay, is what I'm seeing here. I feel like someone, or either someone comes back into your life, or someone like just kind of gives you like an insight here into something that is like really helps you in some way. This feels like it's current energy. All right. It could be someone like inviting you somewhere, with the Emperor and the Fool card, or someone who is interested in you. You know, they're coming back around. Maybe they're interested in something more with you, because sometimes this can be like friendships or something along those lines. But you know, the Six of Cups can be a lot of things. It can be our friends, it can be our siblings, it could be our children. You know, there's a lot of different things that the Six of Cups can cover in a general reading. But there's this energy here overall of something that's very authentic and sincere that is being offered to you. So whether it be just reaching out of, hey, how are you doing, Leo? You know, from an old friend, or maybe again, it's like it could, if you have children, you know, they could just be extra sweet, or you know, giving you something, you know, some kind of good advice, you know, something like that. There's this offer here that shows up, and it could even be like an offer to go somewhere or travel, or maybe a friend of yours you know, is saying, hey, you know, why don't you come work with me, you know, something like that, with success here. Because there's definitely this element of a little taking that leap of faith. Okay, you do have success here though, because the thing is, I feel like you're like a little unsure about this. Well, I don't know, you know, do I want to take this offer? Do I want to do this? Again, you have this success card showing here with taking a leap of faith, not being too fixed in like your ways with something in the very near future showing up. So either that, or someone is, like I said, taking that leap of faith toward you. All right, they're offering you some sort of either romantic gesture, or again, it could be work, career, something like that. For some of you, yeah, it could even be like a travel job or something like that that gets offered to you sort of out of the blue. But it's like, I do feel like whatever this is, you do have success here. And I would say, like, definitely, like, don't overthink anything coming your way, but definitely heavily consider what is sort of put in your path at this time. The things that come from a sense of genuinity and feel right. All right, that is definitely what to take a leap of faith toward, and not be too stubborn or fixed in energy right now, and see something that it could be a whole lot more. So in other words, if like you're just sort of kind of going through life right now and nothing really exciting is going on, and you know, maybe you've been kind of hoping for change or wishing for change or something like that, and then all of a sudden something kind of does show up in your path that could represent change, then like don't just, you know, it's like, well, what would that look like? You know, it's like, here you are, you've been, you know, kind of having this everyday experience, and then something does come along. Well, you know, that's when perhaps it's time then to take a leap of faith and test this out, see what's up. Because, I mean, again, you have success here, all right, for sure. Yeah, it's up to you. Get more information if you believe. And perfect timing is also underneath the deck from these cards. All right. So I do think something's starting to form for you, and it's not quite here yet, but I do feel like it's showing itself very soon here. And the beginnings of it are here. So there's something in the present energy, either now, like right now, like you already know about it, or very, very soon, within the next like few days or 7 days or something like that, that will present itself as sort of like a cue or a clue. All right, so that's how you'll know. Okay, let's see. So that was Leo. We're on to Virgo. Yeah, Virgo we are on to. Let's see what's going on for Virgo. We are going to pull an Angel Answers card first, and then we'll get to the tarot as far as what is next. Oh, look what fell out, Virgo. Hello. Romance. All right. Beautiful. Let's see. And at the bottom of the deck, ask for help from others. So like if you're single, you're missing a little romance in your life or something along those lines, I look at this card as that says ask for help from others as like spirit guides or angels or God or higher self, you know, that sort of thing, right? Or it could be literally like maybe you have some friends who have a good friend to set you up with or something like that, right? You never know. Okay, so let's see. Don't be shy, Virgo. All right. Let's see what's going on for Virgo as far as what is next. Okay. Virgos, please. Oh, all right. So, air sign or a water sign, or there might be choices. Maybe one needs to be let go of here. Yeah, someone that you may be interested in and possibly like kind of keeping tabs on. They might be like that King of Swords energy. Like, yeah, maybe that's not the one to be focused on. Maybe ask for help to some of you possibly like needing to ask for help to like let go of someone, because universe typically doesn't send us someone new, right? Knight of Cups coming in with that romantic offer, right? When we're still sort of in the energy of holding on to something else, right? So universe always seems to bring something when we let go of something. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. So if you want to be happy in that like beautiful Ten of Cups relationship, then the self-nurturance and that sort of energy needs to happen first. You know your value and your worth, and if someone's not participatory with you, like somebody that you maybe kind of hung up on still, but they're not really coming forward, then time to maybe think about something different here. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think someone's very interested in you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, look at these cards. So this is at the bottom of the deck. I feel like someone's really going to be attracted to your inner beauty. That's what I see. So those of you who are like used to people being attracted to your outer beauty, I feel like the person coming in is going to be attracted to like your who you are, like truly, from the inside out. And those of you who possibly aren't like really used to that, like, well, that people aren't always attracted to my outer self. It's like someone's going to come around that's going to appreciate like that inner beauty within you is what I'm seeing in the future. Like I don't see this happening in like 2 seconds. Although it's possible, all right, because we do have this energy in the present moment, but we'll get to that in just a second. Recent past, you have 8 of Wands to 10 of Pentacles. So I feel like there's been this sort of motivation that's like kind of perked up your energy in some way. So this could, it doesn't have to be about romance. It could be about like work or career or something like that. Maybe there's been a lot of like activity, different things that you are kind of throwing out there and seeing what sticks or something along those lines if it's more about work and career. If it's more about romance for you guys, like I said, I feel like you have made up your mind like, okay, I think I'm ready. I'm ready to think about more of a long-term relationship with someone, that kind of thing. That's where this energy comes in. Oh, wow. And underneath this, ask for help from others, it says you are ready. Okay. But that's where this energy comes in, because remember, and before I even put out these cards, I was saying, I feel like this is when we ask our angels or our guides. And that's exactly what Temperance card is to me as a reader. It's got a lot of different meanings, but for me, oftentimes it's representative of sort of like a higher angelic type energy, trying to find the right sort of like soulmate energy for you, or whether that be in work or career or romance or whatever it may be. It's like trying to find that right emotional blend and alchemy, of like what you desire and then what you feel and those types of things. So I do feel like there's something here about definitely asking your angels for help. So again, sometimes we can use that word as very cosmic, but there's earth angels too. So that could mean friends. Earth angels can work through people. That's how they do, actually. They work through people. So possibly ask your friends about somebody if you're curious about them, or ask your friends if, hey, you know what? I think I'm ready to start dating again. Do you guys know anyone interesting that maybe I'd hit it off with? Something like that. I know that takes a lot of courage for some. For some, it's easy. Like I would have no problem doing that, right? But some other people might feel like that's like like a desperate thing or something, but just don't have that attitude of that. I mean, the only way we truly really like move forward in life oftentimes is by asking others for things or for help or for guidance or for a step up if it's like work or career, that kind of thing. So don't be shy. I keep wanting to say that. Don't be shy. I said it earlier and I'm saying it again. It's like, don't be shy. I feel like right now, like your current energy is just sort of like, all right. Some of you may be like working on just working on yourself, wondering if it's worth it, wondering if you're ever going to find someone, kind of tired of waiting for something to happen. And I'm a big fan of always repeating this message on this channel of like, when we're waiting for something to happen, then we're in waiting energy. So instead of like just like waiting for something to kind of magically happen, it's like instead we need to move into the energy of like kind of being that already and just expecting it to happen. All right. You have the Seven of Swords here. So, but I don't feel like this is you. I feel like this is someone checking you out or someone's interested in you too. I think it's a little bit of both. Again, if you're curious about someone that perhaps, a coworker, maybe somebody came in to visit them and you were attracted to them or something like that, and it's not their person, then ask that coworker, hey, who was that you were talking to the other day? Get curious. And again, sorry to keep repeating myself, but don't be shy about things that could really possibly turn things around for you. So it may be a little bit of you checking out someone also, but this wouldn't be someone from the past or like checking somebody's Facebook status from, that you are already kind of attached to or something. This is letting that stuff go and being interested in newer things. And I also feel someone's interested in you, or someone may be checking out you on some way too. So I do feel like romance is possible here. I do think that there's something, like end that energy of checking in on past people, or even if it's not like past people, like people that just aren't coming toward you. That you may be kind of hung up on or kind of interested in or watching tarot readings about, things like that. This is saying like end that energy so that something new can come in. Yeah, absolutely. With the Page of Pentacles. So and there's the clear communication. This is somebody who wants to talk with you, someone who will put in the effort. They want to have conversations with you. All right, that's what I am seeing. So nice. Okay. All right, let's go to, that was Virgo. We're on to Libra. Okay, all right, Libra, let's see what's going on. What is next for Libra? First, we're going to get an Angel Answers card, which is just a general message for you at this time. And then we're going to look at the tarot for what is next. Okay. So we have wait and trust here also at the bottom of the deck. So there may be something that you are thinking about, because the Archangel here is holding a sword. So swords oftentimes represent like conversations or just thoughts, ideas, things like that. So there may be a conversation that you're wanting to have like this second, this is saying, well, let's pull it back a little bit. Let's think about it. Let's wait, that kind of thing. Just trust. Yeah. Trust there is something better. So some of you might be thinking like you have to do something like, well, this is better than nothing. I'm going to do this. Where this is saying, well, wait, there is something better, so don't feel like you have to just, like if you're in a relationship or something like that, and it's very rocky back and forth, and maybe they're coming back around, and you're like, well, maybe I'll just go for this because nothing else is out there. Angels are saying, no, wait on that. There is something better. Or the same could apply, like if it's work or, a job or something like that. Okay, so let's see what the actual tarot cards have to say about what is next for Libra. So I feel like the main message is just don't jump into anything because you feel like there's nothing better. Okay? All right. So what do we have for Libras, please? What's been going on? What is going on? And what is next for Libras? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah. Definitely some kind of turnaround here for you, for sure. Okay. Yeah. Something that's going to make you really happy, I feel. All right. So, yeah, the recent past, you have the Four of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. Just sort of like energy here. You know, nothing really exciting going on. Just sort of, I don't know, keeping your head down, maybe just doing your work. You know, nothing really exciting. Some of you may be considering like, well, should I put work into this, or should I, you know, get that loan, start that business? You know, there could be a lot of different things going on here, right? In the recent past, it just has that vibe of neutrality, like not much going on, wanting something, but not exactly sure how you're moving forward yet. So in this current energy, we have the Strength card and the Fool. So like, you know, us human beings, sometimes when we're in that like gray kind of neutral zone where it's like not much going on, then sometimes we just do want to. I mean, Libras aren't exactly what I would call impulsive, you know, but it depends, you know, on stuff in your astrology chart. But there is this energy here of like, screw this, everything's so gray. You know, I just want to go take a crazy risk, or I just want to do this or that or something to shake things up. I feel like, again, this is saying, yeah, that's a good energy to be in, but right now it's more about not doing something just because like you're bored, or just because it's like, well, there's this in front of me, I guess I could do that. That's a little bit different, you know, something like that. I do feel something is coming towards you that's going to be very, very good. All right. So it could, like I say, if you're trying to get a loan to start a business, something like that, yeah, I feel like that could absolutely be coming forward. Others of you, this could just mean like an increase in like a raise or something. Like, so maybe some of you just want to bolt, you know, and it's like, I'm kind of tired of this job, or something along those lines. Again, you know, this isn't saying wait forever or anything like that. These are near future cards. So like if nothing happens, then sure, you know, skip on by. But there is something here saying like, hang in there. You know, there is something coming towards you that is being given to you that is very healing and has a lot to do with something that you are hoping or wishing for. And you have these like, so your outcome card, I threw a couple extra cards off the top of the deck, but your outcome card is the Death card, the Scorpio like transition, you know, type of energy here of Pluto. And the next two cards, because I wanted to see what came off the top of the deck after that, were the Page of Pentacles and the Sagittarius energy here of Temperance. So there may be major changes for you around that season, all right, because Scorpio and Sagittarius happen to run right next to each other. So this could absolutely be something about timing. So even though that's not necessarily like near future, I mean, it is really in the scheme of things, it's not that far away. Scorpio season starts around like mid to late October, right? Like right after your season. So something around like Scorpio Sagittarius season could be offering you something new, something different for you. So I feel like there's something to not just like chuck aside. Do be willing though to set yourself free, try some new things, that kind of deal. Absolutely. But not with the energy of like just full blown out like risk taking. All right. So it's, and that makes sense for a Libra anyway. I think that's good. So in other words, like I can tend to be like somewhat impulsive myself, right? And like I've done like really stupid things that turned out to be actually very good. But I remember one instance where I was working at a job. I had worked there for a couple of years, and I was out on my break, and then all of a sudden I just realized like I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And I had nothing else lined up. I had rent to pay, and nothing else lined up whatsoever. And I remember like on my break, I just impulsively walked up, and gave my notice. And it did work out actually for the best, actually in a very, very good way. It did work out. But, it doesn't always work out that well. And that was like maybe too impulsive. So it's something about like that type of energy, but with a little more thought underneath it. So not taking a huge risk like that, like just quitting your job when you have nothing else lined up, or quitting a relationship, just boom, I'm out of here, possibly for some of you, if it's not a healthy relationship. But there's something here about like you're bored, and like shaking things up is a good idea, but not radically impulsive. All right, that's what I'm getting. I think things are going to change for you. There is like this sense of something that is going to be worth it for you. And I know it's just a page of pentacles, but I can tell from this reading, like it's going to be good. It's going to be worth it. And I do feel like some of you are going to be receiving more in the near future as you do free yourself from this sort of grayness, this blah, but not too impulsively. Okay, it's a weird reading, but it's like a perfect reading for Libras, I think, because it kind of brings in those scales, you know, that balance that is so important. So yeah, be a little impulsive, Libra, at this time, but not crazy impulsive at this time. That's what I'm seeing. Something's going to pay off for you. And I do feel like, you know, getting out more would be really good for you guys. You know, just getting out into, you know, fresh air, taking a walk, you know, those types of things I feel are going to be very healthy choices for you right now. So yours is showing me that there is exciting stuff coming up, but it's not quite here yet. Okay. All right. Let's see. So let's go to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, let's see what is going on for Scorpios, please, as far as what is next. We're going to look at the Angel Answers cards just for a general message for you. And then the tarot will be more of the what's next things. Okay. So you have choose a new direction. And underneath the deck, I happen to notice you do have reconsider. Okay. Reconsider. So something you may have been thinking about, or a conversation you may have had, something like that, to reconsider. Choose a new direction shows two people in the picture, like kind of choosing a new North Star, like a new direction. So it doesn't necessarily mean like choose a new direction, oh, you have to break up with this person, or, you know, something like that. It could be. All right, we're going to look at the tarot now. But for most of you, I feel like it's saying like, yeah, there you go. Choose a new direction. Like, because like the North Star, right, in like a metaphoric way, is like what leads you to something, right, to something magical. So I do feel like you guys, there's something to reconsider here that you've possibly thought of before, or been excited or motivated about before. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a thing, you know, something that you want to go after. But let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay, so tell me about Scorpio, please. What is next for Scorpio? Sometimes that card can be about moving also. Maybe reconsider something, you know, because choose a new direction can also indicate like finding a new place to live, something like that. All right, what do we have for Scorpio? Yeah, actually moving or travel could be something that is showing up here for you. Wow, so that Ace of Wands came out. And the Hermit is shining the light on it. Wow, okay. Let's see. Yeah, so you have 8 of Cups and 8 of Wands. So movement. Yeah, a lot of movement showing up. Now, this is in the recent past. So there's something about that to reconsider. So possibly some of you were thinking about moving or going somewhere or traveling somewhere or taking a short journey or something like, or maybe a longer one. This would entail like leaving behind something else emotionally that you've been emotionally comfortable or emotionally attached to, and just like letting things soar freely. Okay, so it would definitely take like leaving like an emotional attachment to move forward. So some of you, you may be talking with someone in this current energy. You have Queen of Swords and you have Page of Wands, or you may be curious about someone also. Sometimes the Page of Wands to me is like curiosity. You know, it's kind of light stuff, right? Like just kind of texting or, you know, something like that. So it may be romance for you guys, you know, it's possible. Or, you know, just something else that you are just like kind of toying with the idea of. All right, so I do feel like you are speaking with someone presently or are about to be, I would say within the next 7 days, something along those lines, where it's like, huh, that's interesting. I never thought of that, you know, because it leads to like this. So it could be a Pisces, first of all right, there may be a Pisces that is entering into your life, or a Virgo. If it has nothing to do with those signs, then I think it's more like the moon card is here because it's sort of like, well, that's curious. I never thought of that. That's a good idea. That could be fun. Or I feel like there's something about having a conversation with someone, all right, reconsidering something that it's like, I don't know, like how that could possibly work, with the moon card here, but there's like excitement about it, or there's motivation about it is what I'm seeing. And the Hermit card is, the way I'm looking at this on the desk, is like shining the light on these cards. All right, because this is the direction I see it on my desk, right? So it's like the Hermit's like shining the light on this, saying, hey, look here. There's something new. There's this new vitality in something, or new direction, possibly, choose a new direction. Even though you don't know how it's going to turn out or exactly all of the details, it's a little mysterious, a little unknown. It's the Hermit is saying, hey, pay attention to this. This could be something that could really be a new start, very passionate for you, or creative for you, romantic for you, whatever it may be that you are desiring in your life right now. Also, too, something, it could, like I said, it could be about like moving or traveling or something along those lines, too. So it is a little mysterious with the moon card, but I feel like as you sort of like reconsider something and get a little more curious about something. This is not heavy energy, Scorpio. All right. It's sort of like kind of like being like that child of wonder, like, I wonder what that could be, like kind of being in that type of energy, rather than our typical scorpionic, well, what's the root of that? What does that mean? What could this possibly, instead of us being in like that type of mode, this is more being in that like kind of childlike curiosity of something. And I feel like it's going to bring like some sort of excitement into your life in a way. Okay. All right, so that's Scorpio. We're on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see what the message is for you. We're going to pull an Angel Answers card first, which is just a general message for you at this time, and then we're going to use the tarot as far as the what's next portion of this reading. Okay. It's up to you is the card that you guys got. And then you have take action. And underneath that is in the near future. Okay, so take action in the near future. But those are your cards in a minute, right? They're not there yet. So right now it's just saying it's up to you. So decide something, and then in the near future, take action is what I feel like that is saying for you. All right, so let's take a look at your tarot cards, and we'll take a look at what's been going on, what is going on, and what is next. Okay, Sagittarius energy, please. Sagittarius. Okay. Choices, maybe a Gemini showing up for you. Some of you have been waiting on another Sagittarius, but it doesn't feel like that's happening. All right, at least not in this current energy. Okay, tell me about Sagittarius, please. What's going on? Sagittarius. Okay. Capricorn energy, Taurus energy. Okay. Yeah. I feel like some of you guys have been like waiting on like the wrong, not, well, wrong is like a not a good word, but not like waiting on something that's not right for you. Okay. That's what I'm getting. Or someone possibly. All right. That's not right for you. I feel it's time to start like dating, all right, rather than being focused on like marriage or like if there's been someone in your energy for a long time that you've like just really wish that this could turn into something more more long-term, traditional, reliable, something like that. Again, I feel like you'll just kind of end up like always like sort of waiting for that. So it's even though this is just a current energy reading, I feel the gist of the card saying, yeah, but it's not just current energy. Like this could really drag on for a long time. So there's something about like looking forward to new things in this reading. I feel like that's good. Like, I feel like that is where you are. I think you're realizing this about yourself. Like, you know what? I've been like heavily attached to this situation, be it a romantic situation, maybe it's a work situation, whatever it may be. And I feel like you guys are realizing that, like that it's sort of deep, and it might even be a lot to do with like past life karmas or something like that. And you're starting to like recognize this, and also starting to say, you know what, it's time for me to look forward to something different, something new. So the thing is, I do feel like angels will celebrate that turn. All right, like turning away from heavy, oppressive, attached energy. All right, like not upset. I don't get sometimes with the devil card I get obsessed. All right, but I don't get obsessed with you. I just feel like it's attached energy that is heavy and not working with you, right? Not helping you in any way. So I feel like as you turn away from that energy and start visualizing more of like, well, you know, I'm kind of tired of feeling that heaviness. You know, what could I look forward to? I feel like then angels are like happy, you know, saying, well, it's up to you, right? You know, and it's like they're almost like celebrating, like, yay, finally, you know, maybe now we can give Sagittarius that wish. You know, they're learning that karmic lesson. But here's the thing, though, you have the Nine of Wands here, which is a Sagittarius energy card. So it's like there's this like careful kind of balance here, because the Nine of Wands can also be a card of like not doing that. So it's like I feel like you're kind of torn between two lovers, right? I feel like you're sort of torn between these like two things, and it's like part of you is like deeply attached to this more heavy, like karmic, maybe even like religious past, like kind of energy. And then there's this other part of you that's like saying, I don't want to be attached to that anymore. I do want to, you know, see a brighter future or something like that. But it's like with this, it's up to you card. I feel like if you're waiting like for things to change, and I said this in, I think it was Virgo's, I can't remember, one of the other signs, I said the same message. If you're waiting for things to change, like waiting on that Nine of Cups miracle sort of, you know, granted wish, I feel like the angels are saying, well, you know, we will give that to you, but it's up to you first. It's up to you to decide, like, what is that, you know, and not to just like be waiting for it to happen, but to visualize and decide that that's what you truly want to happen. So I feel like this is a really good time for you guys to, yeah, because then, like I said, you have in the near future, take action. So I feel like this is a perfect time as far as like what's next to really heavily start considering like what would that, like if that truly was a genie coming to you right now, like they just show up in your room right now, right? And they're like, you know, ready to grant you that wish. Like, what is it? You know, what is it really? And I do feel like in a realistic form. And I don't always say that because I think it's good to dream big and dream, you know, spectacular, you know, all those things. But there's something here though where I do feel it should be somewhat attainable, is what I'm getting from just this energy. And nothing too grandiose yet. And I'm not saying that's not possible or anything like that. You know, a Sagittarius, I'm not going to tell a Sagittarius that, right? Jupiter, expansion, all those things. But there is something that is like coming through me to say it should be somewhat realistic, okay? And hold on to that. Here's the thing, though. I feel like you guys might not, all right? Because the what's next card is the Nine of Wands, which is waiting on something to happen. And waiting way too long. Nine of Wands is like burned out, like, you know, kind of energy. So I do feel like it doesn't have to be that, right? That's why we do tarot, to see this stuff a heads up so that we can course correct. So I'd much rather see like this in the future, you know, position as far as what's next. because this would, like if we swap these, then in the present, you're kind of tired of like looking over at this like heavy stuff. You're tired of waiting, you know, for like the world to like change, you know, around you, you know, that kind of thing. And then if we were to change the reading and it was like this, where then the next move is to get a little bit lighter, start making some, you know, visualizations. Angels are happy. You're visualizing more of a visionary future for yourself. That's what would be much better to move this reading into. So that's where I'll leave it. Okay. Because again, that's why we do tarot, because you know what? We can change things. All right. These are just minor arcana cards. So it's like, definitely leave the heaviness in the past right now. This is not working for you. Anything heavy, oppressive, too traditional, not your friend right now. And waiting for that to change, you know, it's not going to change, my friend. You know, it's like that stuff's always going to be the way it. Well, not always. I shouldn't say that, but it's at this time, it's not like making any radical changes. So instead of waiting for things to happen or the world to like kind of bend toward you or come toward you, you know, there's something here about it's more up to you to visualize where you want to be. And that's really, truly what can happen for you. All right. In the near future, then the angels are going to be like, okay, well, and they're going to give you something to take action toward. All right. That's what I'm seeing there. Okay. So that is Sagittarius. We are on to Capricorn. Okay. Capricorn. So I just got the movie Purple Rose of Cairo in my head, the Woody Allen movie. I'm trying to remember which one that, I think that was the one where he would step in and out of the old films. I can't remember. You know, I know Woody Allen has that, you know, that whole deal and all that, but I'm sorry, you know, but he is absolutely hands down, you know, one of my just favorite writers, directors, and everything else. I get it, you know, it's hard to support somebody with, you know, the allegations and everything, but, you know, the way I see things, it's like, I don't know him, and I don't know them, and I don't know any of that. But it's like when I just look at things for entertainment value, as far as what he's put out there, oh my God, like he's literally probably, I don't know, I like Louis Malle a lot too, but I would say Woody Allen's one of my favorites. So anyway, that for some reason that just came into my head, Purple Rose of Cairo. So I remember, I haven't seen it for so long, but I remember it's something about him coming in and out of like old timey films. Okay, all right, and that's interesting because then we have in the near future. So it's like something about time travel or something maybe coming to mind. I don't know. All right. So we have in the near future, and then you have take action at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So let's see what's going on. Capricorn. Okay. Capricorn, please. So we're going to take a look at the tarot, see what has been going on, what is going on, and then what is next for you, Capricorn. Okay. Temperance. All right. Making a plan, being patient, being guided by like Temperance Angel. Okay. All right. What is going on for Capricorn, please? Okay. Ooh, Ten of Swords. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Oh, hello. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So you have the Sun card at the bottom of the deck, a lot of positivity and happiness, all right, that is possibly, you know, showing up in your near future here. All right, so that's good. Some of you may be changing, I don't know, changing work or working hard on something. Okay, so yeah, recent past, you have the Ten of Swords and the Queen of Wands. I feel like there's some of you, I feel like you want to quit something and start your own business is what I'm getting with this, all right? Because it's like there's this wishing card, this Eight of Pentacles, things like that. Or revive like an older passion of yours, that could be too. I'll talk about it if it's romantic in a moment, but I do feel like for some of you, this is more of like, I don't know, just sort of being mentally exhausted with something and like having this like motivation that's sort of a brew within and, you know, sort of not knowing what to do with it. The good news is I feel like in the near future, right, which was your main oracle card here, but like in this present energy, there's definitely an emphasis on some sort of offer that you have been hoping for or wishing for, or there's like just something new that like feels like your cup runneth over. All right, it feels like a wish, or that, wow, you know, maybe this could happen, or this could come true, or something along those lines. So it's a very positive energy of like allowing your, you know, the Ace of Cups to me is a lot like that heart chakra of, or like hope springs eternal, you know, just sort of like an always full cup. So much full, you know, it's so full that your cup runneth over, right? And so it's like really wishing and dreaming for, you know, that which you love, right? In a positive way, not in a attachment way, or a, you know, I must have this, you know, kind of way, just in like a beautiful way, right? Like, yeah, like let your love flow, da 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 da, let your love flow, you know, that kind of thing. Then you have like the Death card and Eight of Pentacles. So that's why I was going work and career with this for most of you. But again, we'll talk about romance in a moment if that's more of what it is. But there's this energy here of either like completely changing something around, and starting like your own business in some way, or you know, working on your talent and skills that are really going to pay off. All right, with this Queen of Pentacles here. Or for some of you, this could, like, if you've already kind of made that choice, it's like loving it more and putting more and more into it. I would say by like Scorpio season, like you are going to be like really busy. Like you're going to be turning something around in like a positive way. Because the Queen of Pentacles is a great money card for you, or a great career card for you. And it doesn't have to be your own business, but I think for the most of you, you know, like that's, you know, it's a general reading, so I'm going to lean towards what I feel like is the most. But it does feel like it, for many of you, it's more about like your own business or your own talents and skills that are being put to work here. So if it is romance, then I would say, you know, Ace of Cups, Nine of Cups showing up in your current energy is absolutely, you know, definitely energy of like, you know, a possible new love offer, or something that like kind of allows you to sort of dream a little bit about like love and what that might look like. Now, some of you might be like, if it is like current energy love or something like that, I don't feel like it's like necessarily unraveling for you like in 2 seconds. I do feel like there's energy here of maintaining a good balance between like getting your work done, working on yourself, what needs to be done, you know, those types of things in balance with, you know, this like possibilities. You know, it might be leading somewhere. Queen of Pentacles can be like a wife card, or, you know, a very permanent, you know, loyal relationship card, you know, something like that. But it's that fine line of balancing things, all right? Like making sure to keep working on oneself and getting things done, getting the work done that needs to be put into something, right? But also at the same time, you know, flourishing in this sort of allowing yourself to, you know, have this measure of feeling good in the heart center, that sort of thing. You have a lot of positivity showing up, Capricorn. So I feel like things will be very good for you moving forward. And it's like keeping that energy and that open energy, though, I feel is very important. Okay, so we're on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, what is going on? What is next for Aquarius? So we're going to pull an Angel Answers card first, just sort of as a general message, and then the what's next part will be the tarot. Okay, Aquarius. Meditation brings answers and a peaceful resolution. All right, so get that meditation going. All right, what's up for Aquarius? I keep wanting to say Sagittarius. Interesting. So maybe you guys are dealing with a Sagittarius. Okay, Aquarius, as far as what is next, what's been going on, what is going on, what's coming in, what's next? Aquarius, I just saw your card a second ago. Yeah, you guys might be getting messages coming in, because I saw the Star card go by, then the Eight of Wands, and Ace of Swords. Okay. Oh, whoa. Okay, don't overdo it. That's the first thing I got here. Okay. Um, Okay, yeah, don't overdo it. You have the Empress energy underneath the deck. So the Empress energy is self-nurturing, self-care, things like that. Because I feel like in the recent past there was either some good news or something to celebrate, or just sort of something unexpected. Maybe a get together with friends, or a date, or whatever. It could be 50 million different things here. But it's also kind of in the present energy. I feel like there's like this sort of like stern mother energy saying, hey, okay, cool, but take it easy. Don't get too. The Tower and Three of Cups can be fun, absolutely, or like exciting. Like I said, it could be good news, celebrating good news, something like that. And yes, absolutely, that's a beautiful thing. But I also feel like there's this current energy of sort of, okay, but don't forget to, just sort of like self nurture, take care of oneself, take a break when you need to take a break, that kind of thing. And I do feel like it may feel like that's advice you don't want to hear, like it's coming from like a stern Queen of Swords kind of energy, but I do think like it's good advice, not to overdo something. In the near future, you do have this Strength card, all right, which is really good. It's a good energy of, well, strength, and also inner strength. And the thing is too, it's like, I feel like this would be a great time to, I'm getting like make changes in some way, all right? I feel like this is a very specific reading, and I feel like there's been some good news. I feel like there is, like I said, this sort of, not necessarily, because Aquarius don't like to be told what to do, basically. Let's just put it that way. They just don't. And, that's a good thing, because it's Aquarius. It's that rebellion, type of energy. However, it's a good thing to a certain point. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't always, or that we shouldn't sometimes, right, hear some good, kind of good, even if it comes across a little stern, a little bit, some good advice, okay? So I do feel like there's something here about like someone saying, hey, Aquarius, don't forget to take a break, to relax, take a nap, do some deep meditation, things like that, all right? And it's like, because what you don't see about that advice is, like, this is what you don't see, is that it's building your inner strength. And your inner strength is what flowers into your outer strength. So I really do feel like there's something here where don't just try to, I feel like also to, like, not to, some of you, I'm getting like you don't want to rock the boat. I don't know what that means. It's just like a psychic hit, right? So, and since you don't want to rock the boat, you may just be sort of like clutching on to, I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to rock the boat, and whenever we like clutch, then the universe typically does not like that, right? Then that's when they teach it, the dreaded lessons, start coming in to teach us how not to clutch, how to open up more freely, discover ourselves from the inside out, that sort of thing. So I feel like there's a very strong message here of developing that inner strength at this time and not overdoing outward activities, things like that. And that doesn't mean like don't do them at all, just don't overdo it. This is like moderation at its finest, this whole spread, okay? And not to, because this would be the opposite too. This would be like, then, well, okay, then I'm not going to do anything at all, and I'm just going to, stay home and clutch security. No, neither one of those are going to work. This is about balance, all right? So it's like knowing when to celebrate, great. Knowing when to take a break, great. That kind of thing. And what you don't see, again, is that like meditation, I feel, can really boost your inner health, strength, everything, okay? So that's what I have for you. Very specific message, probably not everyone's message, but I do think it's a valuable message for those who resonate with it. So you may want to check Rising or Venus if that didn't resonate. Okay, so let's go to Pisces. All right, Pisces, let's see. We are looking at what is next, Pisces. What we're going to do is we're going to pull an Angel Answers card, just as a general message, and then we're going to look at the tarot as for like what is next. Okay, so you have Ask for Help from Others is the card that fell out for you, and Trust is at the bottom of the deck. So Ask for Help from Others, I was at the bottom of the deck for, gosh, I want to say Taurus, but I'm not sure about that. It was one of the earlier signs. And I was mentioning, like, with this card, it's many times, or no, Virgo, I think it was Virgo. It's many times, like, we need to, like, sort of ask our angels for help, right? Ask them for guidance. Or it could literally mean, like, ask other people, all right, in our lives for help. And then, like, Trust, oh, sorry, wrong. I wasn't at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, Trust and Remain Positive are at the bottom of the deck. Trust that you're going to receive what you're looking for, but we need to ask for help. Okay, so ask your angels, ask your higher self, ask God, whatever feels comfortable for you, right? And or ask particular people for help. I know it's not a fun thing to do, not an easy thing to do for some, but that is what it is showing. Okay, so let's see, what do we have for Pisces? Pisces, what has been going on? What is going on? What's coming in? And what is next? Pisces. Okay. Oh, somebody else had that exact combo. Can't remember who it was. Sagittarius, maybe? Or Capricorn? I don't know. Oh, okay. Trying not to listen to your intuition. Interesting. Well. Yeah. Okay, new things, new ideas. All right. Let me take a look at this just for a second here. All right, because I'm getting some hits, but I want to get a little bit more. I want to take this all in. Hang on. Okay, so actually, I'm going to get more clarity on your reading before I show you the card, because I don't know. It's a little tricky. Hold on. Okay, Pisces. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Choices. Okay. All right. Yeah, Ace. That's interesting. Look at the bottom of both decks. All right, this was the main spread that I put down, the larger Rider-Waite cards. Bottom of the deck was Ace of Pentacles. I'd seen it before because I looked at it already. And then with this little deck that I'm using, also has the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so definitely new energy is around you. What I'm getting is there's like, yeah, it's very similar to one of the other readings I just did. I maybe Sagittarius or Capricorn, I can't remember, but it's a similar vibe, where there's like this, like you may not see like how profound like a certain, it might have been Gemini, anyway, like a particular situation has been for you, whether it be a marriage, Hierophant, devil card, or felt like a marriage, in like if it's work or something like that. There's something here where you're not seeing like how much of an influence it has been on you. And a lot of times, like that combination, that Hierophant with the Devil card, can indicate to me, like, and especially it's showing up in the past position, can represent like past life things also. So a lot of times when things like that are unresolved, they're showing up in this, lifetime energy too. So, because if we do look at life as like something that's ongoing, not necessarily these segments of past lives and who was I last life, but like look at it more as a flowing thing, then it's like, yeah, why would something like that just disappear, right? If we just kind of keep going, then, our energy kind of runs into the same scenarios, I would imagine. So there's something here about like making the choice of not letting others make the choice. Okay, so it's like listening to your intuition more is what I am seeing here. All right, with the Seven of Swords, there's a part of you possibly that is in between sort of blaming the world in general, or like holding resentment toward restriction, toward hierarchies, that kind of thing, or even like traditional ways, like of being, something like that. There's this like resentment, as if like that's what keeps you from your new start. And I feel like this is saying, no, it's like, yeah, I mean, that's not saying that nobody else, didn't play a role in some crappy things in your life, but it's saying like more that it's about the choices of how we view certain things. All right. How we view oppression, or too much traditional energy, or I don't know, like when we tiptoe away from our intuition, that's when things kind of get messed up, right? And I feel like this is, it's not saying like, oh, well, it's all your fault, Pisces, you didn't make the right choices, or you chose to see the world this way. I don't, I'm not putting like, more heavy karmas on you in that sense. In fact, get away from those types of things. Stop thinking like it's your fault, or it's the world's fault, or it's your parents' fault, or it's that marriage's fault, or anything like that. And it's not your fault. It's just sort of this energy of like it's more just about what you choose like to communicate with, what you choose to study, what you choose to go for, right, in life, is what it brings, like these new opportunities. All right, but like waiting on things to happen, or waiting on circumstances to happen for you can breed resentment. All right, and that's false. All right, that's the trap of like the world. All right, or of the devil, if we, not literally, but you know what I'm saying. It's like, that's the trap. The trap is when, like the devil, let's use the devil as like a actual, like if it were like really a devil, right, sort of thing, like, trying to rule the world or whatever. Well, then it's like, of course the devil's going to kind of like trick you to tiptoe away from your intuition, because your intuition will, like blow up the devil, right? Because your intuition always knows what is the highest and best for you, your intuition, right? So, but when we tiptoe away from that, all right, that's when the world sucks. That's when we look at things as like bereft of this and bereft of that, and everything sucks, and that kind of thing, where this is saying, hey, no, it's a cosmic choice that we make, whether we choose to wait for things to happen and then get into resentment when it doesn't, or when we grab life by the right, and move forward with excitement and passion. So that's what I'm seeing here. So there's something here about, and now here's where it gets a little confusing, okay? Because because the rest of that was so cohesive. so here's where it gets a little confusing. Okay. But you got a deep read here. So it's like, if it, watch it through again, and it'll make sense. But here's where it gets a little tricky, because you have this ask for help from others. So isn't that strange? Because, I just said, well, you need to make sure you're listening to your intuition. You're, not looking to others, not looking to the world to solve this or solve that, or it was this person's fault, or that situation's fault, or something like that. Well, okay, but we do still need to, we are, we're not a lone wolf in this world. All right. Otherwise, it reminds me of that Twilight Zone episode, where the dude wishes he could just be alone and read his books. And then, there's like this world cataclysm where everything like disappears, and he's actually locked in his house and can't get out, you know, but he's surrounded by all of his books. So he got what and then, but he wears glasses, and so he can read his books, and his glasses got broken. So there he was. He wished he could be with all of his books all alone, and that's exactly what he got. But it's, you know, he didn't wish for his glasses. So it's sort of like this scenario of needing to be careful what you wish for, obviously, you know, that sort of thing, because I just brought that Twilight Zone episode into mind. But also to, like, sometimes we do need to, not sometimes, we do oftentimes need others in this world. It's not just us in this world. I've brought that up a few times, like in my little cards. You know, it's not just me in this world. You know, it's me as a part of this world, and we really do need to kind of consider that it's us as a part of this world. It's not like this world is, you know, all these things are happening to me, right? And Pisces, I know, grasps that on a deeper level, because you guys have been through the wheel, and you're not in that like selfish, you know, mode or anything like that. But still, we do need reminders of that at times, because it's like, I don't think you guys are thinking like, oh, it's just you know, in this world in that kind of way. But you may be like resenting things as feeling like it's like the world against you, or this situation against you, or these traditional oppressive things against you. And again, it's more of what you're not seeing is that, well, you're tiptoeing away from your intuition. And as you do that, it's like, then yeah, things are going to look bleak, you know, when we're not listening to our intuition. So it's like about making that high vibrational choice here, and not waiting for things to happen, but get inspired, get motivated. If you don't feel motivated, you don't feel inspired, you don't feel like there's something new around the corner, then ask for help. That's where that card comes in. All right, ask for that guidance then. Ask for, you know, actual people, like I said, you know, because it can just mean people. Because people, like, if you ask angels or you ask God or higher self or whatever, chances are it's going to work through other people, because it can't, you know, like God or angels or what, they don't just come down here and say, okay, Pisces, here's what you need to do. You know, they take that information, I'm assuming, I don't know how that cosmic stuff works, but it seems like it works that way. And then they work through people, you know, to, you know, they send the right person or they send the right situation, but that all comes from somebody else. So there's something here about getting more passionate, motivated, getting some new ideas, things like that. And if you just feel like you don't have that within you right now, then ask for help, right? To have that motivation, or have that passion, or have a clean new start with something. That's what I feel your reading is about. All right. So that's what I have for you guys. Interesting reading. Sorry, it was a little deep there. Not everybody's reading, you know, like I always say, check your rising or Venus, you know, something like that, if it doesn't, or moon, you know, for these types of readings. Okay, thanks guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.